All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Very excited to have those of you here that were able to join us on short notice this morning. And for those who are watching this later, excited that we're able to record it for you to be able to share in the long run. So welcome to our information session, the first market overview in 2025 for the New York Wine and Grape Foundation's export program. Today, we're specifically talking about the Japanese market, and we're excited to look ahead to 2025. Couple folks on the call, familiar faces. I'm Kyle Pelishek, the Director of Programs here at the New York Wine and Grape Foundation, and I'm incredibly excited to continue the work with those of you that I know well and get to know those of you across the state that I have not had the chance to meet yet, and to build on the years of the diligent work and strong structure that Val Ross was so critical in pushing forward for our export program. I also want to let you know that the wineries that are currently signed up to participate in the export program will be invited to attend our export advisory group meeting on Thursday, September 4th at 11 a.m. Before we dive in, I do want to offer my sincere apologies on the short notice of scheduling this meeting, and a huge thank you to our market reps who were able to pull their presentations together so quickly. We pushed to get these market overviews to you now because we wanted to ensure our market reps had the opportunity to share their insights prior to the Scandinavian and Japanese buyer visit coming up in just a couple weeks at the end of August. I also realize this Zoom is currently set as a meeting instead of what sometimes in the past has been a typical webinar setup. So I ask for everyone's forgiveness as I'm still getting settled into the swing of things with this new position. The export program is a long-standing and critical initiative for the New York Wine and Grape Foundation. Running since 1993, it plays a vital role in putting New York wines top of mind for trade, media, and consumers in our key target markets globally. The program is made entirely possible with the funding support from the USDA's Foreign Agricultural Service, and we deeply appreciate the tremendous help we receive from their local attachés and the agricultural counselors in each market, who are an important part of our program. This funding, coupled with the efforts of our partners, has often led to increased budget allocations for the program over the years. As part of our dedicated team, I'm pleased to welcome Kirsten Kurz from Bryant Christie International. BCI is our major partner, serving as our activity management partner, responsible for ensuring our export program activities remain focused, compliant, and strategic. As a longtime partner, BCI's assistance has helped us achieve continuous improvement and increased funding year over year, not to mention the crucial role they've played in my crash course onboarding to everything export related. So Kirsten, I'll turn it over to you to introduce our Japan market representatives.
Thank you, Kyle. So I'm pleased to introduce to you guys our in-market representatives from Japan, Akiko Kurose, who handles all of our logistics, and Takenori Beppu, who is their wine specialist. This is their 6th year representing New York wine in Japan, and they have done a really amazing job building our program in the Japanese market. We're so happy to continue our work with them. And the Japan program, because of their work, has quickly become one of our strongest programs through the export program. So we're really thankful to have them on board. And I'm going to hand it over to Akiko to get us started.
Thank you, Kyle and Kirsten, for the introduction. Thank you all for joining today, and welcome to the Japan Market Overview. We are Asahi Agency, your in-market representative for the Japan market. My name is Akiko, the project manager, and today we present you with an overview of the Japanese wine market and how the New York Wine and Grape Foundation will be promoting New York wines this program year with my colleague, Takenori Beppu. So some of you have already met him, but I would like to give you a short introduction. Takenori Beppu is our wine specialist. He's a WSET Diploma holder and Sommelier certified by the Japan Sommelier Association. He's a wine marketer, a wine writer, and an educator for both trade and consumers. Takenori has strong relations with top wine professionals in Japan, including existing and potential importers of New York wines. He is also an educator and speaker for New York wines in Japan. So we will start by presenting an overview of the market landscape and relative trends in Japan, followed by an introduction of the activities planned for the program year. Japan has a population of approximately 124 million. According to the OIV, International Organization of Vine and Wine, the consumption of wine in total in Japan for 2024 was 3.1 million hectoliters, and this is ranking 16th globally and is the second largest market in Asia after China that ranks 12th. The per capita wine consumption in Japan is ranked 18th globally, was 2.8 liters, around 3.7 bottles. Although China does have a higher consumption than Japan, the consumption per capita is around 0.5 liters. For your information, the average consumption of wine in Japan has tripled over the past 3 decades. To explain the structure of the wine industry in Japan, although a license is required for either producing, importing, distributing, and selling alcoholic beverages, trade is quite free with few restrictions compared to most countries. The most common and traditional commercial flow is that the wines are exported from wineries to importers, and they are sold to wholesalers who then sell to on-premises and off-premises channels. Japan has a highly developed logistics system and infrastructure. There's generally no need to work with multiple importers for each region. So one importer can basically cover the entire nation. To sell to a major retailer, a nationwide hotel, or a major food service, it is common to sell through a wholesaler, as it is preferred by the buyers to purchase in very small quantities. So shops and restaurants are very small in Japan in size, so it is not unusual to have deliveries daily by these wholesalers and distributors. And the outlets can order like items from one piece. Recently, many small to medium-sized importers are selling directly to its channels instead of relying on wholesalers, and this makes specialized services that cannot be achieved by selling through a wholesaler possible. Also, some importers have their own shops or use e-commerce to sell directly to end consumers. It is said that we have more than 400 wine importers in Japan. There are different types of importers, relatively mid to large companies such as subsidiaries of major beer or food companies, and smaller independent companies. Small boutique importers have increased over these years, which is another reason for the diversity of the Japanese wine market. So depending on your expectations and goals in the Japanese market, such as where and how you would like to have your wines distributed, we recommend that you consider the type and size of the importer. And as information for those of you who have not exported to Japan, importing wines to Japan will require a notification for food quarantine and related documentation, testing to prove that the product is compliant with regulations. In addition to these legal requirements, each importer usually has its own guidelines and requirements. One of the reasons for the establishment of the Japanese wine industry is due to the Japan Sommelier Association called J.S.A. J.S.A. celebrated its 55th anniversary last year in 2024. It has its own diploma system, and with over 40,000 certified sommeliers and wine experts, which is a certification for non-professionals, the Japanese love to study and acquire qualifications for wines. And 4,000 to 5,000 people take the qualification exams every year. The New York Wine and Grape Foundation has become a supporting member in 2023. and it enables us to announce our own events or participate in the official events held by the association. We believe that this membership helps to show New York Wine's commitment to the Japanese market and increase its presence among professionals and serious wine lovers. So to explain a little bit more about the alcoholic beverage market in Japan, I mentioned that the annual consumption per capita is around 2.8 liters. The total alcoholic beverage consumption is around 75 liters. This is data of 2022. Wine accounts for around 4% of the total alcohol consumption. And traditionally, sake and Japanese distilled spirits shochu is widely consumed. However, recently is beer and ready-to-drinks that account for more than half of Japan's alcohol consumption. So from here, Takenori will explain to you more about the data and trend in Japan.
Okay, thank you very much, Akiko-san. Hello, everyone. I'm Takenori Beppu, the wine specialist of the Asahi Agency. Today, I'll give a brief overview of the Japanese wine market. Most of New York wines land in Japan as mid-priced to premium, so I'll focus on that range. First, please look at the graph of Japan's wine imports by country over the past 5 years. As you can see, the top countries are Chile, France, Italy, Spain, and the United States. This chart may not make American wine look large in volume, but in Japan, the US is recognized more for high quality than for quantity. Despite inflation and the weak yen pushing prices up, total wine imports last year reached 103% of the previous year. Next slide, please. Most US wine sold in Japan is from California. If you look at the average price, you can see the California's strength at the higher end. There are low-priced California wines, of course, but the labels with bigger presence tend to be higher priced, well-branded wines, Napa Valley, for example. Prices have risen, but demand has not fallen to the same extent. France is harder to generalize because we export a wide variety. Yet premium Burgundy, Bordeaux, and Champagne remain popular regardless of price. So next one. A key trend in Japan is diversification. Wines from countries and regions that were once little known are gaining popularity now. While many of the top 10 countries, including the US, have been flat or even down over the past decade, a number of smaller suppliers have more than doubled. Examples include Portugal, Austria, Bulgaria, Slovenia, Romania, Georgia, Moldova, etc. Why is this happening? Improved quality in these countries is one reason. Another is higher prices and the shortage in famous regions, especially Burgundy and Champagne in recent years. They are still beloved, but the need for alternatives is strong, and Japanese consumers are open to new options. The rise of smaller importers has also accelerated this diversification. What does this mean for brands? As the market diversifies, more labels circulate. That makes it harder for brands without established name to get noticed. To succeed, the right partner and clear strategy matter more than ever. Sometimes working with a small but specialized, passionate importer can deliver better results than working with just a large, well-known one. So next one, please. One last trend, Japanese wine. Japan has been making wine for about 140 years. For a long time, heavy rainfall and humidity limited quality. But in the past decade, better technique, a growing preference for domestic products, and the ease of visiting wineries have made this category booming. New legislation in 2018 supported this growth, and there are now more than 500 wineries across the country. Because of our climate, Japanese wines tend to be soft and delicate. They were once seen as a bit flat, but tastes in Japan have shifted from full-bodied to more elegant styles, which supports their popularity. Vinifera grapes have long been hard to grow here. So, for example, Labruska varieties like Niagara, Concord, and Delaware have been used widely. From that angle, I sense growing interest in New York wines as well, maybe. So now then, Gostan, please.
Sorry. So based on this market information, we present you with a SWOT analysis of New York wines in Japan. The biggest advantage is the high recognition of New York City and its premium image. We don't have to explain generally where New York is. Wineries and winemakers in New York know good food, great wine, and global trends, which is an advantage in promoting New York wines. Another advantage is the familiar grape varieties. Riesling, Chardonnay, Merlot, and Cabernet Franc are familiar among Japanese wine lovers, and Labruska varieties are also recognized. The diversity in wine styles and grape varieties is also a strength. On the other hand, New York is not yet recognized as a wine-producing region. The majority of the Japanese do not know the size of New York State or about upstate New York. The biggest challenge is the logistics. With no less than container load reefer options from the East Coast, the importer needs to consolidate shipments to create a full container or ship by air. So this either makes the order lots larger than the ideal inventory range or affects the retail prices. Shipment from the East Coast to Japan is a long distance compared to shipments from the West Coast or Europe. Also, freight costs have risen, making it challenging for new importers to add New York wines to their portfolio. Also, the unpredictable exchange rate. The yen is weak and the fluctuation has been drastic and very unstable, affecting all imported goods. As opportunities, wines from the cool climate region are attracting attention in Japan as well. And as Japanese cuisine is traditionally delicate, using less oil or animal fats, it does not generally match full-bodied wines or wines with strong oak flavor. So the popularity of elegant wines have grown significantly over the years. The Japanese are also quite receptive to new regions, wine styles, and grape varieties. They're eager to try a new grape variety or wine region that they have not tried before. These few years, we have also been seeing more interest in sustainability measures, especially among wine journalists. So we have been communicating more about the New York Sustainable Wine Growing Certification and other sustainability measures. Regarding threats, inflation and rising prices of daily necessities is a major threat. And harsh competition is a threat because almost all the wine regions in the world are trying to gain presence in Japan. The global trend of sober careers among the younger generation is also seen in Japan. However, there are many opportunities for New York wines in the Japanese market. So we currently find wines from more than 27 New York wineries in Japan. The wineries listed here are not limited to the wineries participating in the New York Wine and Grape Foundation Export Program, but what we can show here is that the lineup is diverse and there is no limit in style or type of wine. Before we introduce the planned activities for this program year, I would like to give you a brief recap of the last program year. So we had a booth at the Japan Sommelier Association 55th anniversary in late November. The total attendance for 2 days was 1,600, over 1,600 people, and we showcased 20 wines from 8 wineries. Over 200 guests visited our booth, many who experienced New York wines for the first time. In February, we held our annual walk-around tasting for selected professionals, showcasing 58 wines from 20 wineries. A total of over 111 guests attended. We also held a physical seminar with guided tasting for trade and press for 40 attendees. In March, we showcased New York wines in collaboration with the Northwest Wine Coalition. This was for the second consecutive year at the U.S. Pavilion at FoodX Japan, which is the largest food trade show in Japan. And in April, we exhibited at ProWine Tokyo 2025 and had an outbound trade mission. At ProWine Tokyo, we showcased 47 wines from 19 wineries signed up for the Japan Export Program. We also had a masterclass with the wineries speaking as guests and also a VIP dinner. The New York Wine and Grape Foundation booth at ProWine Tokyo was hugely popular, and we had more than 600 visitors to our booth in 3 days. 4 wineries participated in the trade mission, and we had very positive feedback. Although the show, of course, cannot compare with Wine Paris in scale, we believe that most of the Japanese wine professionals were there either involved in this show or visiting this show. And in addition to wine professionals, we were able to reach out to new audiences within the food and beverage industry or hospitality industry and provide an opportunity for many of them to experience New York wines for the first time. We also worked with leading Japanese wine media, Wine Art, for an article introducing New York wines and the 4 wineries that visited Tokyo. Throughout the year, we updated and managed the Japan microsite and also translated and localized educational content and news. The annual visitor count reached 3,000 last program year. Lastly, we created 2 educational videos titled New York Wines in 3 Minutes, aiming to increase touch points with a broader audience. So going ahead to this program year, the following activities are planned. From August 24th to 31st, we will bring 3 young sommeliers to experience New York wines to the region in a joint inbound trade trip with Western Europe buyers to Finger Lakes and Long Island. In late February, we will hold our annual tasting event, a walk-around tasting and seminar with guided tasting hosted by Takenori Beppu. And in addition to showcasing wines from all the wineries that have provided samples, we will also invite existing importers to exhibit free of charge accessories prepared by the foundation, which is a great benefit because usually an exhibition fee is required for a table to exhibit in such tasting events. From April 15th to 17th, ProWine Tokyo 2026 will be open, and we are planning to exhibit at ProWine Tokyo for the second time. And there will be a travel opportunity for wineries signed up for the Japan program. I will explain about ProWine Tokyo in more detail in the following slides. We will also continue to update the Japan microsite, providing the latest news and information in the local language, and aim to increase visitors to the site to raise recognition of New York wines. So now we will introduce ProWine Tokyo in more detail. These are some of the photos of the New York Wine and Grape Foundation booth in April. 2026 will be the third year that Messe Düsseldorf partners with the Japan Food Journal, which is a major trade media and organizer of one of the major trade shows of food industry called FABEX. ProWine is a trade show specializing in wine and alcoholic beverages, held every March in Düsseldorf, Germany. And for 2026, it has been announced that there will also be a show in Singapore just after Tokyo. So here is a brief recap of 2025. 190 exhibitors from 21 countries participated. Top three countries were France, Germany, and Japan, and over 1,200 items were listed. The total number of visitors to all the shows, including ProWine, for 3 days was over 56,000. And nearly 30% of the attendees were food and beverage importers or wholesalers, 20% restaurants, and 8% retailers. Overall, 75% of the exhibitors answered that the show met or exceeded their expectations. 82.6% of the exhibitors answered that the quality of visitors met or exceeded their expectations. And the 2026 show is planned from April 15th to 17th for 3 days at the same venue, Tokyo Big Site. Last but not least, we have developed strong relations with the U.S. Agricultural Trade Office in Tokyo and Osaka. We attend corporators meetings regularly and communicate with the trade officers and market specialists. New York Wine and Grape Foundation's annual tasting events are granted support by the U.S. Embassy, which helps to maximize the importance of the events among Japanese trade and press. The ATO initiates promotions such as American fairs at retailers, hotels, restaurants, and cafes. And there are opportunities throughout the year that are especially beneficial for New York wines already distributed in the Japanese market. So we recommend wines connect the importers to the retailers or hotels holding such promotions initiated by the ATO. In the last program year, New York wines were selected to be listed in American fairs at high-end supermarkets and leading department stores alongside California, Oregon, and Washington wines. Invitations, we are starting to prepare invitations for wine shipments and also travel opportunities. So we are planning 2 shipments this year, but please wait for further details, and a bottle books invitation will be sent out in the next few months. We are currently planning 1 shipment October, November mainly for the tasting event, and then another one early next year for ProWine Tokyo. Please note that a certificate of analysis for the wine samples is required, and details will be provided in the bottle books invitation. Wineries already with distribution in Japan also have the option to ship domestically from their importer. Regarding the outbound mission for Prova in Tokyo in April, we're currently working with Kyle and Kirsten on the details, and we'll be able to announce more about the travel opportunities very soon. And for wineries new to the Japan program, we would like to add your winery information and to the Japan microsite producers page. For wineries that already have their information on the Western Europe UK site, we usually use that information and translate it to Japanese. For those that don't have their information on the UK site, we will ask you for information and then translate that for the Japanese microsite. Finally, we continue to open a help desk for wineries. We welcome you to reach out to us for one-on-one meetings, Monday through Thursday, 9 through 11 in the morning or in the evenings. Emails, of course, are welcome anytime. And if you're new to the program or the Japan program, or still weighing whether not to join the program, please reach out to us so we can help and answer your questions or clear your concerns. And of course, for those of you who have already been supporting the program, you're also always welcome to reach out to us anytime. Please contact us through this at this email address, or we can also schedule a one-on-one meeting. Thank you. So if anybody has questions.
Thank you so much, Akiko. I want to just make sure that everyone knows Akiko has shared a lot of great opportunities planned for the upcoming year. And a reminder to folks, if you already have distribution in Japan in any of the export markets, but are not signed up for that market through the Wine and Grape Foundation's export program, there are a lot of opportunities that you're able to take advantage of even through the support with your distributor. So some of the ATO activations that Akiko mentioned, your distributor is able to help provide samples. You don't have to go through our sample shipping network. So there's added benefit and value, even if you already have representation in the market. So we'd welcome folks to consider joining the different markets and spaces where you aren't just curious, but are already actually actively doing business. So thank you so much. Welcome anyone to take yourself off mute, ask any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. Or if we have anyone on the call that feels that they want to share a personal experience or success story that they've had with through the export program in the Japanese market, feel free to share. Kiko, could you put the key date slides back up, please?
Yes. This one?
Yes. Is that what you meant,
Chris,
Christopher?
this one or the one before? Here?
I think there
Oh,
was one
sorry.
before that.
This one?
Yeah, that one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have any questions, Chris, you're welcome to. Thank you
We
for
are
taking.
looking forward to, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to thank you all for taking the time to join out of your busy schedules and take the opportunity to ask anything at this time.
All right. Kelby's looking forward to another great year. We're looking forward to welcoming our inbound group at the end of the month and combining them with the Scandinavian team. And I think it'll be a great kickoff to the year ahead.
Who's coming this month?
Akiko, can you answer that?
Yeah, so Takenori is coming. He's bringing 3 buyers. This time we're happy to have well, they're not buyers, they're trade sommeliers. One is a sommelier working at a French restaurant. Another, you may, Chris, also have been to the liquor shop Imadea. We have a merchandiser, and also actually she's a daughter of the owner there, so very promising young merchandiser from Imadea. And we have a very popular specialty food store called Dean and DeLuca, which I believe that was originally from New York. I think they only have it in Japan and Hawaii right now, but we have the wine director from Dean and DeLuca, which is a retailer, and they also operate some cafes and restaurants coming in, and yeah. So I think for all three of them, it will be their first, of course, trip to the New York wine region. Maybe it could even be their first trip to New York. I'm not sure, but they're very much looking forward to it. And we are also looking forward to yeah, having them come to New York to experience New York wines.
All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for taking the time to join us today. And for those that are watching this later, if you do have any questions, again, you can reach out directly to Akiko. Also, as always, you're welcome to reach out to Kirsten or myself to follow up with questions. So thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.